happened while we have been away.
I thought I had a grip on the situation. I'm not so sure anymore. The Sanctum Universum believes that God wanted us to travel the stars. That's gotten us here. Is this... Could this be the next step in that journey? Is this what we were meant to learn out here? Could the unity... Could that be God? Or a way to reach him? I knew we were onto something big with the artifacts, but this... It's beyond anything I could have imagined. The one thing I'm sure of is that we have to see this through. We need to find the rest of the artifacts. Take care of yourself.
Come on. There are worlds to conquer. You have my attention. You do not need to ask me if you may ask. You may just ask. Right. What did you need? Yes, of course. I am not surprised you have questions. It is not for the faint of heart, I assure you. To know what the future will bring, what will be not just your fate, but that of all those around you. And yet to have no choice but to keep that to yourself. It is a challenge. But as I have told you, it also fills me with purpose. And that purpose is what guides me and drives me. You might as well just ask me to explain the universe. Here is what I can tell you. The Great Serpent revealed himself to Jinan Barun decades ago. He explained that it was he who had created this galaxy and breathed life into it. And while he had slumbered after his creation, he would return soon. And when he did, those who had served him in his stead would be rewarded, while the rest were cast into shadow. And so for generations, we have prepared for his return. I am human. Of course it bothers me. But I have a mission. And my mission helps preserve the lives and safety of my people. That is more important than my personal feelings. That is not for me to decide. If the High Council summons me home, I will go. Until then, I will perform whatever tasks they ask of me. You know, of course, of our tumultuous history with the people of the settled systems. Few have forgiven the Serpent's crusade. The High Council worries that many would still plot to wipe us out completely. And so we watch. We look for warning signs and we send word back. And it does not help that we are unfortunately still dependent on supplies. Life on the edge of the settled systems is difficult, and no one will formally trade with us. So agents also help oversee deals with smugglers and the operations needed to transport supplies back home. For all that I have seen and experienced, I have never been as afraid as the day Sarah and Vladimir confronted me. But they agreed to keep my secret, and they have held true to their word. That surprised me, but also gave me some amount of comfort. I know that most would not react the same. House Va'ruun is still widely hated in the settled systems, and that sentiment will not change anytime soon. It is, after all, much of the reason I was sent here in the first place. No, thank you. It is good to be able to discuss this with someone. Is that it, then? Your abilities are truly amazing.
Well, I suppose that station in orbit has more than paid for itself at this point. You're doing Constellation proud.
Hey. Yeah, what is it? Goodbye.
You know, the way you handle things, not bad, not bad. I'd appreciate your advice. After our last talk, I was really worried what you'd say, but I always feel better. Thank you. Cora's grandpa, good old Jacob, well, he just will not stop pestering me to see Cora, and that's complicated. I mean, can you blame them? She's something else. But things with my dad, my early years, they weren't good. My mother died when I was 7. Some people have such strong memories from their early life. Me, I mean, I remember her. I have some pictures. I remember the feelings, but just a few clear memories. You better believe it. So, Jacob raised me on his own, and shit, maybe I don't give him enough credit. I mean, I know how tough it is, but he was strict, hard. Dad was a longtime civil servant, a big man in government, and he had a future all laid out for me. And man, could he get his hooks into you. He was scary good at that. You know me too well, but I tried. I felt the weight of legacy. I wanted to do him proud. He said I had to learn the business, run some freight, see how credits flow, speak the language. Meanwhile, he's working some angle for a government job for me after. That sounded even more miserable than what I was doing. Oh, I started to. Many, many times. He'd always steer the conversation away or just use logic to dissect every little point. Once I held my ground, and he said I was an ungrateful child, not worthy of what he was doing. I know, right? Even after I was with the Rangers, Dad was just always needling, angling for me to join the government. But by then I knew myself more, and I could stand up to him. And Lillian, well, she helped. If I let Jacob into Cora's life, he'll dream up some big future for her and tie her into knots like he did with me. The man could teach a master class in manipulation. Well, no. But he hasn't had much opportunity. And he's a sly one. Not sure I'd be able to spot anything. I would try, that's for damn sure. No guaranteeing I'd succeed. I guess I got more to think about. Any day you make it through is a victory in my book. It's about time. I miss the company.
Such a shame. I'm afraid we have had all the best adventures already, Sam.
No adventure? Well, we'll find some hijinks then. Maybe a shenanigan or two.
Hello.
Contamination detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived. Oh dear, that's a surprisingly tricky question. I'm probably not the person to answer it, but it is a genuine pleasure to meet you. I wish it were even better. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him. Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community. But you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends. You ask a question you already know the answer to. Yes, of course. I have need of you. But if you have a good heart and a quick mind, I am sure you will see my point of view. Where to begin? Maybe an introduction? I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatist Society. It is gratifying that even after all these years, my name isn't entirely forgot. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense I was. Everyone that lives here are clones. Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider.
This has got to be one of my best days ever. Cora is going to go insane. Literally insane.
Not at all. I have had occasion to see death more than anyone. When someone dies, all they have accomplished here in Crucible, all of their deeds, thoughts, are gone. And when they come back, they are different, modified. The believers say they are improved. Being reborn can take years, sometimes over a decade. But everyone comes back. To us, it's just the way things are. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about, sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatists' position on matters. Well, it is one of the few concrete things we know about Crucible. If you want to truly know about the mission, the believers will tell you all about it. In fact, it can be hard to get them to stop talking about it. After you meet with them, I'll share my position. Please do. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with the Monirinas and Genghis Khan.
I would kill for a new slate. Of anything at all.
Welcome to town, stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course. Oh, I'm not all that. Just had the good fortune to receive some good publicity. But to the matter at hand, I'm more than a humble innkeep. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that. That's a generous offer. I might take you up on it. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you. Hope you find what you're looking for. If you want a room, you've come to the right place. You want to stay the night? Longer? Room's yours for the week, then.
Your ship, she's a beauty. It travels the stars, right? Tell me, what's it like out there? That's just how I imagine it. My name's Amelia Earhart. When I first woke up in this place, in my head, I knew all about my namesake, her life and her accomplishments. But I also knew how to fly a starship, reactor limits, thrust acceleration vectors and everything. In my mind's eye, I can imagine flying out there, touching heaven itself. And yet, cruelly, here I sit. The facility keeps us alive, fed and protected, but they do a terrible job of informing us of anything at all. My guess is the facility thought they might need a pilot one day, but your guess is as good as mine. Funny, some of us have had the same thought about you. Listen, I know you owe me nothing at all, but I would do anything to get off of here. I know the societies want who knows what from you for who knows why, and I don't want to get involved in any politics. I just want, for my single self, a chance to explore. You won't regret it. Thanks. Do you want to talk about anything else? I have a few choice, unchristian thoughts about some of them, but I'm going to stay out of it. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. Any at all. I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish harm on anyone. I just want to explore. I hope to see you again.
Roosevelt is the only one that really cares about us as people. I hope your arrival doesn't mean more violence.
Change is coming. I can feel it.
The saddle systems needs us. We just need to pass the test. You don't get old on Crucible unless you're smart. FDR is the wisest.
The believers will win eventually. It's our destiny.
Up and at 'em.
I just wish the societies could get. I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirinas of the Kush, queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me. Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this, but I feel in my bones that I am a Manirinas for true. The great and the terrible, to those who would oppose me. I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces, betrayers, lovers, allies, and enemies. And the smells. The right scent. And I close my eyes. And I can picture all of it. So vividly. It aches my heart. My home. My kingdom. If your mind and heart remain open, you will see the truth of it. Once, I called upon mighty armies. However, on Crucible I still lead. Have you heard of the believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems to bring in a new glorious age and break the endless cycles of oppression and greed. So many scoff at the mission. Before we are reborn here, there are words all of us are told. That we are the chosen. We are meant to better ourselves. To learn, grow, and thrive. All of us represent the greatest figures in our history. Who better to lead the settled systems to a new golden age? You are skeptical. My advisors thought the same when Augustus Caesar stood unbeatable at Cush's border. I made war against the mighty Romans. I took their cities and fought them to a draw. No other king or queen can boast of that honor against that famed Roman. And that's just me. Some of the greatest lions of all ages are awaiting rebirth. What are bureaucrats, petty politicians, and lawyers against that? If we could do it ourselves, we would have, years ago. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years, and no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright. The facility is another place on this very planet. A place we cannot go, as much as we dream of it. Then listen well, outsider. You must go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
Stranger! Weapons out! They come! There will be blood!
The man from the stars. Come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you. Manners cost me nothing. But make no mistake, I will do whatever it takes to escape this prison.
I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls. I would provide fresh meat for my society, so we don't get fat off the robots. Franklin and I see eye to eye on very little, but even he appreciates this. And I always hope to see some means of escape. Perhaps our luck has finally changed. The robots taught me many things any Mongol would know. So, hunting game, even such as this, is little challenge to me. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones? Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours. But that is blind arrogance. We are just people. Same as you. Same as anyone. None at all. It is as if I were a student of his life and times from an early age. I know so much about him, but that doesn't mean I am him. I am me, and I am content with this. Would it? Oh, you would know better than I. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day, we will be free. A prison of the mind and the body. Crucible holds out a throne and says, "Obey, and it is yours." But thrones are meant to be taken, not handed to you by a machine. But it is a tantalizing lie that keeps the others in line. I do not know. Everything outside of Crucible is unknown to us. I imagine the settled systems are not so settled that a man who does not shrink from violence can't make a place for himself, though. Were it that easy, I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now, the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it. Oh yes, you can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop dead. I have no knowledge of medicine, but it's probably poison. It boils my blood to be subjugated like this. But too many of the clones are sheep. As long as their pens are clean and comfortable, they bleat their arguments. Even if you think I deserve this cage, does everyone? If you want your heartstrings tugged, talk to Amelia Earhart. Doesn't she deserve the stars she craves? You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
Are being answered at this time.
You actually
Key of the house.
If you had a life sentence, wouldn't you do anything?
The mission is a lie, but we have a...
So, you have heard from the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across. A very diplomatic approach. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. Setting us all loose and barter as a whole would invite disaster. We are barely fit to lead ourselves. Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die when our allotted time is finished. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. We are just not there yet. Yes, and not to be indelicate, not for lack of trying. Are we even human in this state? We have no future, only the past. Do not listen to passion. Genghis can be very persuasive, but he's a fool. In some sense, we are an abomination. A science project made for unknown ends and with uncertain results. Once we are fully human, fully self-reliant, then we should be allowed to join the settled systems. I am sure in time you will see the validity of my argument. Go to the facility and see what can be done.
I must confess, the hum of a grav drive makes me feel alive. You better believe it. Enjoy. Take it easy.
Over here! We need to talk. Listen, it's not safe to talk here. It's about Roosevelt. There's something you need to know. Thank you. There's a, well, cave just outside town. No chance of us being listened in on. Please, come as quick as you can. Ideally, before you go to the facility.
Is that what you want to hear?
I'll meet you at the cave.
That's why our aims are so important. We need to learn how to do things for ourselves. Defend, how to reach power, how to fix the plumbing, for God's sake.
You came. I just can't take a chance. These clones, they're psychotic, crazy. If they find out, I'm sorry. I just can't take the chance. You're just too smart. I'm not Wyatt Earp. I wish. God, how I wish I was. I was cloned off a monster. America's first serial killer, H.H. Holmes. He was a deranged lunatic on old Earth. In the 1890s, he owned a hotel. He'd lure people there in this crazy hotel with all sorts of terrible rooms. But I'm not him. You gotta believe me. It's like a living nightmare. If you go to the facility, I know you'd find out who I am. And if you let any of these bloodthirsty maniacs know, they'd kill me. But no, that wouldn't be the end. Every time my new clone would appear, death, torture, pure hell. I'm afraid it's you or me. I'm going to kill you. I just don't see a way out. I can wish it 1,000,000 times, but it don't make it so. I mean, no, I guess. Maybe you're right. If you're wrong, there's so much at stake. I don't want to do this. Goodbye. For both of us.
Go. I guess we scared him off at least.
Do not leave Crucible. Warning delivered. This unit is busy. Adhere to the mission. Do not adhere to the mission.
All systems looking good.
Hello, Captain.
This unit is busy. Manifest authenticated. Remuneration processed. Social interaction terminated.
Big mistake, pal. Sometimes I feel sorry for them. Well, sometimes. You never can tell what you'll find in a critter lair. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned critter hole. Grab everything useful. Even friendly critters don't like humans in their territory. Better we get it than someone else.
Facility on lockdown.
Captain. Greetings.
Do not leave Crucible. Warning delivered.
Come on! Who cares what sick experiment Crucible was designed for? We need to escape.
You actually came from space.
You're the most exciting thing that's happened.
Change is coming. I can feel it.
All beings yearn for freedom. Even Roosevelt admits this. Without fail and without mercy. Even the most devout believer drops like a stone a little over a mile out. Many look at Crucible like it is, but the renegades see it truly. We are the only ones that just want to tear it all down and leave. The mission, the facility, all of it are lies. I have no doubt many of us will perish, or be swallowed up by the settled systems But I just want the chance that every human is born with. You ask a question I cannot answer to your satisfaction. It is far to the east. It is where all the machines come from. Beyond that, mystery. Farewell.
I just wish the societies...
You can hear the howls at night. The defenses have to hold.
Roosevelt is the only one that really cares about us as people.
The mission is alive, but we have a chance to build a real life here on Crucible.
It is still hard to accept a stranger in our midst. We are not 100% sure, but I have a theory. The facility has been unreliable as long as I've been alive. My guess is that they are historical figures that just didn't get a proper education. Who's to say what Julius Caesar actually looked like? Or some modern person of note that we wouldn't even know about. Whoever they are, though, they are as smart and capable as the ones that know their identity. My feelings about my namesake are complicated. He was a great but flawed human being. On one hand, he guided a country through the ravages of depression and war admirably. He tirelessly fought to improve the lives of the poor and disadvantaged. But as a husband, he was unfaithful. And as a colleague, he was a consummate politician, which is sometimes good, often distasteful. He was truly a great man, and I must confess, I am proud to share his heritage. We are unnaturally dependent on the machines of the facility for every aspect of our society. The pragmatists seek to take the reins of power ourselves. We will cultivate, work, and govern for ourselves. Perhaps, once we have demonstrated that we can govern ourselves well, we can try and bring our leadership to the settled systems. But to do so too early, I fear, courts disaster. Nice talking with you.
Your arrival is a sign from the gods. There are robots here, but they are not constructed here. The clones also are not born here. The robots bring fresh clones always from the east. That is where their facility lies. And that's it. I know no more. We are the ones who believe in the mission. Our numbers are admittedly few, but we make up for it in our commitment to see the dream of Crucible realized. We just want the machines fixed, so we can pass the test and be allowed to leave Crucible and try to make a difference. I am her reborn. It has been a belief of people from the earliest of times. When I dream, I smell the sands of Africa, and I see and taste the blood. I am Queen Amanirinas, and I am she who even the conquerors fear. Roosevelt and the pragmatists vex us. True, they do help us try and maintain the facility, but they deny the mission. Such hubris. We were sent here for a reason. Why can't they see that? And Genghis and the renegades are little more than brigands spoiling for a fight. They would destroy everything if it meant they could be unleashed on the galaxy. Clearly, none of them will ever reach their potential. Goodbye.
Your visitation is a prayer answered. Why, yes. Ada Lovelace, at your service. My namesake worked with Charles Babbage, and is widely considered the first female programmer. And to see what our little experiments led to, I only wish Mr. Babbage was here. I suppose I am what passes for one here, but without any books or treatises from other scientists, my knowledge is limited. Some clones received specialized knowledge, like Amelia. She knows how spacecraft works. So interviewing them has been fantastic for learning more advanced scientific principles. But mainly I conduct experiments. Uncomfortable, truth be told. The believers are undeniably favored by the facility. Their complex receives food and materials first. When blood is spilt, the facility robots often side with them, and always the arguments and fisticuffs. Most of us just want to live in peace. It's always a pleasure.
I hope your arrival doesn't
To know how to touch the stars, yet be grounded. That's a bitter irony. No, I don't. I consider myself a most ardent admirer of hers. She feels like family. She broke so many barriers in her life. Goodbye, outsider.
Roosevelt would destroy any hope of the mission succeeding.
I'm not sure if these believers have all their marbles, but Amarinus is one tough customer.
What is this? These papers are fascinating. And frustrating. So many questions I have. But for now, we must find the security override code to open the rest of the facility. There isn't anything like that in Crucible. This I know. This other ship, the Beagle, this must have the key we seek. That is a relief to hear. So we just have to find it. Ada Lovelace stays out of politics, but the science here is too intoxicating. She will help us. If anyone can find this Beagle, it is her.
So we did come from a spaceship. Of course we did. And there's another out there? What was the Beagle? Why did she and the Galathea part? But all of that in time. First, we must find her. She's not in this star system. I would have spotted her. I should be thanking you for delivering such fascinating news. Now, about the Beagle. Maybe the radio telescope. Yes! Every morning, it always defaults to the same position. I always wondered, why point at Bell 5? Petty frustration I've dealt with for years. But perhaps the facility looks for her sister. Yes! Yes, it makes sense. I can send you the coordinates. The Bell Star system is not far. The facility communicates via a secure frequency. When you arrive, tune into that.
I do not know what I expected from the facility.
The renegades will use any means to escape.
You don't get old on Crucible unless you're smart.
I hope you got better sleep than I did.
The other societies make me sick.
vessel to unknown continent. All in a day's work for UC security.
You haven't asked me to do that in a long time.
I have a lot of my... Any way we can...
And will you do funny voices for the characters?
Transferring credits now.
Like you used
We
to
gotta
when I
resume
was
our
little?
patrol.
You just try and stop me.
Hi. Please disregard. I attempted an informal greeting, but I am dissatisfied with the result. I am no longer detecting signs of life from the enemy.
All you.
Be advised that this is now the combat zone. System failure.
could really bend your ear when you got a moment.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
So many robots. Hopefully permanently shut down non-hostile robots.
Please don't go. We can do the experiment here. The facility has everything we need.
Our protocols say we are looking for planets with a 70% plus confidence level. The facility, barely 50%.
And how many planets have we surveyed? On Earth, they didn't know what we would find. My friend, we are getting old. Too old. If we want to have any chance to start the experiment ourselves, the facility is it.
When I was given my command, I swore an oath to adhere to the mission. Dr. Chang, you realize you are a mutineer. You've abandoned us.
The perfect is the enemy of the good. If you can't see that, then I guess there's nothing more to be said.
of the time.
I'm not a fan of the UC, but this here, when you get a moment, could we talk?
What can I help you with? Always. Point the way and we'll be off.
Switching me out for the big boss, huh?
Well, of course. Hey there.
Outsider, this is Amani Rinas. Please, we have a dangerous situation developing on Crucible. I could use your assistance immediately.
While we're here, perhaps we should check in with Mateo or Noel.
Yes, you need me. I have sharpened the blade for this very occasion.
Good luck, Andreja.
Luck will not be.
This unit is busy.
This feels vaguely like one of those situations that ends with, and they were never heard from again.
Good. You have come. Genghis Khan knows you have been to the facility. And unless we meet, he has said he will war upon us. I have asked Roosevelt to join our talks. In our last conflict, the Pragmatists were useful allies. Hopefully, they will fight with us again. Genghis does not negotiate. If you are unwilling to let him leave, there will be blood. But this is worth fighting for. The mission says that only the chosen should be freed. And I think Genghis is the least likely to merit that. If you control the facility, you control the mission. He has made it clear that unless the renegades are allowed to leave Charybdis, he will fight. As you wish, outsider.
Please, deadly trouble is brewing. Deal with it, and we can converse at length.
Good. I have asked Roosevelt to... Know that we meet under a flag of truce. If any of us violate that, we are outcasts. So no matter the provocation, no battle. Let's go.
Do not leave Crucible. Warning delivered.
Good. I see the outsider is here.
Speak your words, Genghis. But know that I have no fear of battle, for my cause is just.
I know you've been to the facility. I know you have conspired together. Blood does not need to spill today, as long as the outsider promises one thing. Let the renegades go free. I have no idea. I just don't know what's out there. But the renegades will live, fully, and as well as we can. That is not good enough for me. Franklin, I know we have been at odds.
Over many, many incarnations.
But surely imagining the believers triumphing sets your blood to boil.
Genghis, the mission is pure fiction. Of this we can both agree. The best outcome of any of us leaving in our present state is to fail in obscurity. But if one of us succeeds, it would visit untold misery upon the settled systems. Stranger, can't you see why we're not ready to leave Charybdis yet? As you wish. Amonarinas, the pragmatist, will not fight today.
Coward!
As I was saying, I implore you, if the facility can give us more independence...
No. The mission must be allowed to continue as it is intended.
I sincerely hope you are right about all of this, Amonarinas, because this is our one chance at fixing it.
That went as expected. Are you ready to fight, outsider? Make no mistake. You are their target. They will not rest until you are dead. You may not want their blood, but they most certainly want yours. So let's end this.
This should be fun.
My head!
There,
There will be blood! There will be blood! There will be blood!
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
Please, deadly...
We have triumphed, and you are the reason why. All that is left is to go to the facility and restore the mission. To bring a new glorious age to the galaxy. Many have died from pettier causes than that. Stay safe, my friend.
I suppose Monorinas must be pleased. Nice talking with you.
Hopefully all this death will be worth it in the end.
We still haven't recovered from the lost civil war. Blood runs in the streets again. I do not hold you responsible, but may I help you? I believe your intentions are pure. Perhaps I should have predicted all of this. I maintain a steadfast neutrality. So your mission to the Beagle was a success? Let me see. It is done. There is a standard cipher used by the facility. It took me many years and, well, lifetimes to overcome. And now, the mysteries of the facility await you. I pray you choose what befalls us wisely.
Adhere to the mission.
Mind yourself on the way down. There may be medical supplies at the bottom, just in case, but better to know.
I never had the patience for computer systems. Best not to leave anything useful behind.
think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
Yes, what?
I was beginning to wonder if you hibernate.
Hey.
Howdy.
After all you've seen, after all you've done, you chose to just restore things to the way they were? Well, at least the facility is running better. Significantly so. It buys us real time to perhaps one day solve this intractable dilemma on our own. Nice talking with you.
You had a chance to help in the great mission. And instead, you do nothing. But this is not over. The believers will never give up. You have squandered a precious opportunity, outsider. You could have given the mission a chance. Instead, we are back to where we started. True, the facility runs better, but it is not truly fixed. Goodbye.
I've never seen the facility run things so smoothly. I know the societies must be angry, but thank you. If you arrived, I hope we can talk again.
I really hope you'll reconsider taking me with you. You've taken the Crucible by storm, haven't you? I told you when we met that I'm steadfastly apolitical. I intend to stay that way, if you don't mind. I'll do my best. Like I told you before, I woke up with all kinds of knowledge about how to fly a starship. I'll make a great co-pilot, don't you worry. Suit yourself. I'll be waiting here.
Please wait. Generating suitable reading. Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.